Ever notice how zombies just refuse to die on Nintendo consoles? Yeah, kind of wild, honestly. I'm Alice, and today we're counting down 25 zombie survival games worth playing on Switch or Switch 2. Some old classics, some brand new releases. Grab a snack, let's dive right in. Number 1 on this list has to be Resident Evil Requiem, and honestly, it might be the scariest entry Capcom has made in years. The atmosphere is gick, the sound design messes with your head, and every hallway feels like a trap waiting to spring. If this kind of tension is your thing, do me a favor and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop your favorite zombie game down in the comments. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Back to the game though, the pacing rewards patience over panic, which is rare these days. I walked away genuinely unsettled, in the best possible way. Game number 2 is Resident Evil 4 Remake, and it still hits different even years after the original changed the genre forever. The village siege early on remains one of gaming's most intense moments, Chainsaw Guy included. Combat feels weighty, inventory management is oddly satisfying, and Leon's one-liners still make me laugh. It's polished, brutal, and genuinely replayable. If you skipped this remake, fix that immediately, because it's easily one of the most complete survival horror packages on any platform right now. Visually, number 3, Resident Evil Village, is one of the most striking games on this list. All gothic castles, misty villages, and one very tall vampire lady everyone still talks about. The first-person view puts you right in the danger, and the mix of horror and boss fights keeps things unpredictable. I honestly didn't expect to enjoy the werewolf sections as much as I did. It's stylish, weird, and constantly shifting tone in a way that keeps you hooked from start to finish. Story-wise, number 4, Resident Evil 2 Remake nails dread better than almost anything else here. Mr. X stomping through the police station is pure anxiety fuel, chasing you room to room with zero mercy. Raccoon City feels genuinely doomed, and every zombie groan makes your stomach drop. Claire and Leon's separate paths give it solid replay value too. I finished this one 3 times now, and it still makes me tense up, which honestly says a lot about how well it's built. Mood is everything with number 5, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which trades classic zombies for the deeply unsettling Baker family and their rotting Louisiana plantation. First-person view makes every creak behind you terrifying. The molded are gross in the best way, and the demo alone became a horror legend on its own. I remember playing this with headphones on and instantly regretting it. If you want dread over action, this one delivers constant unease from beginning to end. For co-op fans, number 6, Resident Evil Revelations 2, splits its cast into episodic chapters that pair a fighter with a support character, which makes teamwork actually matter. The claw obtained through dismembered survivors is a small detail that stuck with me. Barry and Moira's dynamic feels lived in, not forced. Raid mode adds a nice arcade layer for grinding gear. It's an underrated entry that deserves way more attention than it usually gets from casual Resident Evil fans. Setting the scene, number 7, Resident Evil Revelations, traps Jill Valentine aboard a ghost ship crawling with mutated ooze enemies, and the claustrophobic corridors make every encounter feel inescapable. The Genesis scanner adds a light puzzle layer while exploring. It bridges the story gap between Resident Evil 4 and 5 nicely too. Personally, I love ship-based horror. Something about being stranded at sea with monsters just hits different, and this game leans into that fear perfectly. Cooperative chaos defines number 8, Resident Evil 5, where Chris and Sheva fight through sun-scorched African villages against the frenzied Majini. It leans more action than horror, but the intensity never really lets up. Boulder punching memes aside, the boss fights here are genuinely massive in scale. Playing this split screen with a friend is still one of my favorite couch gaming memories. Chaotic, loud, and endlessly quotable every single time we boot it up. Full throttle action sums up number 9, Resident Evil 6, which juggles 4 separate campaigns across different tones, from zombie outbreaks to bioterrorist warfare. It's divisive among fans for going too far into action territory, and honestly, I get the criticism. Still, Leon's campaign captures that classic Raccoon City dread surprisingly well. There's a lot of content packed in here for the price, even if the quality swings noticeably between each character's individual storyline and pacing choices. Rewinding the timeline, number 10, Resident Evil 0 tells the prequel story of Rebecca Chambers and Billy Cohn trapped aboard a derailed train turned mobile nightmare. The partner swap mechanic for puzzles feels ahead of its time, honestly. No item boxes means inventory stress is real here, which some players hate and others love. I personally enjoy the added pressure. It makes every decision about what to carry feel genuinely meaningful throughout the whole playthrough. Parkour changes everything for number 12, Dying Light Platinum Edition, where running across rooftops feels just as important as fighting zombies below. Nighttime turns the map into a death sentence once volatiles start hunting. The combat is messy and satisfying, weapons breaking mid-swing included. I still remember my first night run gone wrong, heart pounding the whole time. It's one of the most physically expressive zombie games out there. Movement really is the star. Choices actually matter in number 13, Dying Light 2 Stay Human, where siding with different factions reshapes the city around you in real time. The parkour system feels even smoother than before, gliding across Villador like it's second nature. Combat leans brutal and improvised, which fits the desperate tone. I appreciated how Consequences stuck around longer than expected. It's a bigger, messier sequel, but the ambition mostly pays off across its lengthy campaign. Team-based mayhem defines number 14, Zombie Army 4 Dead War, pitting you and 3 friends against literal Nazi zombie hordes with sniper rifles and dark humor. Slow-motion kill cams never get old, honestly. The horde mode adds replayability once the campaign wraps up. It doesn't take itself seriously, and that's exactly why it works so well. Co-op nights with this game turn into pure chaos fast, and I mean that in the best way possible. Bundled value shines with number 15, Zombie Army Trilogy, packing 3 full campaigns of undead Nazi carnage into one package, built for sniping enthusiasts. The alternate history premise is delightfully absurd, killing zombie Hitler included. 4-player online co-op keeps sessions lively and unpredictable. It's a bit rougher visually than its sequel, sure, but the mission variety and boss encounters still hold up. Great pickup for squads wanting mindless, satisfying zombie shooting sessions together. Overwhelming numbers describe number 16, World War Z, where hordes climb over each other like living waves crashing toward your squad. 7 playable classes keep loadouts varied between runs. The swarm tech genuinely still impresses years after launch, zombies pouring endlessly from every direction. It gets repetitive solo, I'll admit that honestly. With a full squad though, it turns into pure adrenaline, especially during those frantic escort missions where everything goes wrong at once. Arcade nostalgia hits hard with number 17, The House of the Dead Remake, bringing rail shooter chaos back with light gun style aiming and campy zombie science gone wrong. It's short, sure, but replay value comes from chasing high scores and branching paths. The voice acting is delightfully cheesy in that classic arcade way. I grew up on this series at the mall, so revisiting it modernized felt genuinely nostalgic in the best possible sense. Squad survival defines number 18, Back for Blood, blending Left 4 Dead-style horde shooting with a card deck system that changes your loadout every run. Ridden enemies mutate in unpredictable ways mid-mission. Difficulty spikes hard on higher settings, which some players find frustrating, honestly. Still, coordinating with friends against a swarm never really gets old. It scratches that specific itch fans have been missing since the genre's earlier co-op zombie classics faded away. Base building takes center stage in number 19, 7 Days to Die, where crafting, looting, and fortifying your safe house matters just as much as fighting. Horde nights every 7th day genuinely test your defenses. The voxel destruction lets you dig, build, and trap however you want. I've lost entire bases to one bad horde night and honestly loved the chaos of it. It's punishing, creative, and endlessly replayable for anyone into deep survival systems. Hardcore realism defines number 20, Project Zomboid, a brutal isometric survival sim where one bite ends your entire run permanently. Managing hunger, injuries, and boredom feels stressful in the best way. The sandbox lets stories emerge naturally. Mine usually end in disaster, honestly. It's slow burn tension rather than jump scares, which some players won't vibe with. For anyone wanting true survival stakes though, few games punish carelessness quite this convincingly and consistently. tension between survivors defines number 21, DayZ, an open world where other players often pose more danger than the infected themselves. Scavenging feels genuinely nerve-wracking every single time. Encounters with strangers can go either way, friendly or fatal, and that unpredictability is the whole appeal. I've made allies and been betrayed within the same hour, honestly. It's slow, punishing, and occasionally frustrating, but nothing else replicates that specific dread quite like it. Fast-paced carnage sums up number 22, Killing Floor 2, a wave-based shooter dripping with gore and satisfying weapon feedback. Perks let you specialize your playstyle between runs, from medic to demolitions. Boss fights against massive mutated enemies get genuinely chaotic fast. It's less about story and more about pure arcade-style bloodshed with friends. I keep coming back for the sound design alone. Every kill feels weighty and impactful, honestly. Lighthearted fun balances the list with number 23, Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, a colorful third-person shooter that swaps horror for goofy multiplayer chaos. Classes feel varied and genuinely fun to master. It's easy to pick up for newer or younger players, honestly. The humor keeps things light without feeling shallow. After heavier horror titles on this list, it's a welcome change of pace that still respects the core zombie shooting fantasy. Dark comedy drives number 24, Death Road to Canada, a roguelike road trip where permadeath and absurd random events collide constantly. Every run tells a wildly different, often ridiculous story. Managing a chaotic group of survivors never stops being funny, honestly. Losing everyone to a stupid mistake stings, but also makes you laugh. It's replayable in a way few zombie games manage, pure controlled chaos wrapped in pixel art charm. Closing things out emotionally, number 25, The Walking Dead: The Final Season, trades combat spectacle for raw storytelling and hard choices that actually stick with you. Clementine's journey wraps up here with genuine weight behind every decision. There's barely any traditional zombie action, and honestly, that's the point. I won't lie, this one got to me emotionally more than any shooter on this list ever could. A powerful way to end the countdown.